All right, well, here today with my 2018 Can-Am X3 XRS. I thought about doing a KMS tune with the big injectors. I already had the regular 91 tune, but I want to go a little more, so I'm doing a 91 tune and a 100 tune. I got them both with the big injectors and the wastegate. And also my clutch tune, that's what all started on this. I went with a clutch tune on this. I had the regular one, it just wasn't doing it. And instead of just getting something else, I went with their adjustable clutch weights. So I got an adjustable clutch weight system in here, which each one of these has an area where you can actually just add a little magnetic weight. So right now, on all of them, I'm running one magnet. Plus there is a spring inside that you got to get to. Now also I went with their helix of this setup, the helix from KMS. It's pretty neat. It's it should do me a little better, and I got that pink spring in there from KMS. So I haven't really ran it yet, but I figure that's gonna help. Plus, if I ever change my tune or my riding style or whatever, you know, I could always just adjust the weights and be right there, because it's not too hard to adjust the weights. You can do it with a couple of tire irons and a drift pin. Once you take it apart, once you take it off, you don't have to take it apart either. You don't have to split the housing or anything. A couple of tire irons and a drift pin. And you can see it on one of the KMS videos. I believe it was with Dandy Off-Road.
So, tire irons, push down. Pry bar at the ready. He's quick. I just didn't get it on camera.
The only other thing I did here was I got the KWI bolt that goes right in the center of that guy there, because this bolt here you can torque down a little harder than you can the normal one or the factory one. So started off with taking its exhaust off. So you can take that exhaust off. You got 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Pretty simple there. And then here you can grab a piece of 12 gauge wire, or if you want to manufacture yourself a little hook with a handle with some steel. But 12 gauge wire, you go right in through here, and both ends come out. I use a pair of vice grips on it, so I can just pull it, twist it, and it comes right off. And you can put it back on the same way. That worked out good for me. So then, after I got that exhaust off, I had plenty of room to get down into here and to get to these little screw or bolts that hold your fuel rail on. Once I got those loosened off, you grab this right here, you pinch right here. I got fuel in there right now, so I don't want to pinch it. But it comes off pretty simple. I mean, I don't want to pull it off. You can pinch it. Oh, it came off. That's how easy that is. So, now you know. Now I know. That was pretty simple. Anyhow, you just push back on and it's on. The other thing you got to take apart are these little electrical connections right here for your fuel injectors. There's 3 of them. And the reason I got this tie wrap is there's a little adapter that comes with your new one to your factory setup here. So I just tie wrap them together. That worked out pretty good. So, you know, that is about what you need to do. Just take the fuel line off, take the 2 bolts out, pull straight up, take the connectors apart, the electrical, and then pull straight up, and you should have your fuel rail out. Now, when you do get it out, you're going to have these fuel injectors. Now, the way this works, this goes down into the block, and this goes into your fuel rail. What you're going to have on here is a little clip to hold this all together. Right here, you see this little groove. There's actually a little clip that sits in there. There's a little square clip, open on one, like a U-shaped clip, open on one side, and it actually goes up and then it clips onto your fuel rail. So to get these out, the easiest thing to get a small screwdriver, kind of work each side, and it'll, you know, slowly pull it out. And that's that. I mean, just work it out and it'll come down. The other thing, when you put it back on, make sure you put that clip in first and put it where it's facing up, and then you push these in and it'll snap all together. And that's the easiest way I found. Otherwise it'd probably be a headache to try to do it any other way. All right, so the other thing is that you need to re-gap your plugs. The plugs are way back here. So what I did is I removed my exhaust for one, just to get to the fuel rail. And then I removed all these two pipes for the intercooler and the intercooler itself, so I can get down to my spark plugs. Now, that's not too hard, just to undo those clamps holding those on, and then you basically just take off the 4 bolts holding your intercooler. It's underneath here. Wouldn't be too hard to show you. It's these two here and there's 2 on the other side, and it lifts up. Make sure you unplug your fan, your wiring for your fan at the same time. And that's, you know, when you do get down to your plugs, you're gonna need to undo some wires. But when you lift your boots off, when you lift the boots that go down into your spark plug, what I found is one time I did it before, I actually had to rip 2 boots apart because the factory didn't put on enough anti-seize. So there was a problem there. It cost me over $100 to get 2 boots. But make sure you put enough anti-seize just on that boot to where, you know, you won't have a problem later on. All right, so the next thing I had to take care of was changing out my wastegate. I had changed out from the old wastegate to the new one they had provided me. And when you do that, you need to set your crack pressure, and they recommend it at 9 psi. So in order to do that, you'll be loosening up this nut here. This will be loose, and then this little clip you just take off by just going between it with your finger, and it comes right off. Now be careful, don't let that clip fly away and drop it down somewhere. The other thing is this comes with the factory little clip that you have to cut off with a pair of dikes or something. Just cut it off. You put together this guy here, but I plan on at least getting the old setup back in there. But to go ahead and, so what you do is you take your hose, you put it on, you take this hose off, put this on here, and make sure this is engaged into that little hole there while you're doing this. And just pump this up to find out when this, as soon as you see this move just a little bit, that's it. So mine stopped at like 9, just a little over 9. So that was my setting. So once you get that set, now the way to set that too is, if you take this rod here, once your nut is loose, to increase your boost pressure, you need to shorten this rod here, push it in this way. To decrease your boost pressure, you go you lengthen this rod, basically, and that's it. You get that setting correct, you know, get this tight, put this all back together, and then try it again. It took me a couple times to get it right, so make sure you get that right, but it's not that hard at all. And that was that. That was that whole setup there. Next thing is I programmed off my off the little DynoJet programmer. I put in my tune, my 91 for now, since I got 91 fuel in here. I went and got that thing programmed. You just plug it in there. It's pretty easy, and you just program it. So once I do the 91, get that all straight, and do some runs down on one of these empty streets now that COVID's around, on a Saturday especially. Yeah, I'll just do that, do some data logging, and get it worked out to what I need, what I have. Yeah, we'll come back to you and let you know how all that goes. how this all goes. Last time I kept blowing the hose off of the intercooler in my motor there, so I put a different clamp on it. Give it a shot this time. Here we go. Dry this time. It might help a little. See how it goes. Alright, here we go. Pedal action here this time. Well, here's the DynoJet results for the data log on my 91 tune. As you can see here, we have almost 17.5 pounds of boost right here. It might go up a little bit, but I got 8,500 basically RPM, which is a lot better than what I used to get with my old clutch tune. You know, I would never get to 8,000. You know, now it's well above that. So anyhow, yeah, it's been doing good on this one. I'm happy with this because this boost is it probably goes up a bit, but I'm not sure. 1730, it looks like about it. And then I drop my RPM here. I'm not sure what the relationship on that is. And then the other one, this here is my 100 octane tune. So here you can see I'm getting 20.5 pounds of boost. It's supposed to be 20, just a little over 20.5 here, 20 pounds of boost. So it was supposed to be 21 pounds of boost, which I'm really surprised because I set up the wastegate for only about 18, being at 9 on my on that gauge. But in the program, I was told that they can actually achieve higher boost, which is awesome. It's phenomenal. And then again here, I'm not sure what the relationship is here, but my RPM, it's close to 8,500 again, which is great. You know, I said I'd never be able to get that with the other tune. So anyhow, I'm happy with the 100 octane tune. But the only thing I'm really regretting is it's expensive per gallon, and it's hard to get. I know E85 is a lot easier, so I'm gonna most likely go into the E85 tune and get that set up and whatever I need to do there. But I'll find out from KMS on that and get that going. Thanks for watching.